This week on Valley Ag Weekly, our guest is Eddie Adams from the USDA and NRCS office here in Terre Haute District Conservationist, and Ryan Hendricks. Ryan's with the Vigo County Soil and Water Conservation District. He's the director. Eddie, Ryan, thanks a whole bunch for joining me today.
Thank you.
And I know we have next week at the Vigo County Fair, we have an event coming up. And Eddie, I'm going to start with you. Tell us a little bit about this event.
Well, the event, we're going to demonstrate the slate test, Barry. We're going to have soils, local soils that we have actually taken samples from crop fields here in Vigo County, some of them from long-term conventional fields as well as long-term no-till fields. Maybe some of those fields have had some cover crops on them. But we wanted to show the comparison of slaking, and slaking is defined pretty much as disintegration or crumbling of soil under moisture situations where you have add moisture to soils, then they will tend to separate. And we're going to show you how that works, and then the benefits of long-term no-till and cover crops and how that can reduce some of the slaking.
So cover crops do make a difference, is what you're saying.
Certainly do.
Ryan, now where is the soil from? Is it from this area?
Yes, it's right.
Our sample soil. Let's put it that way.
It's right here from in the county, and the samples are from the same soil types.
Okay.
So that way, it's an exact comparison. And really, the only difference is just between the no-till and the conventional. And no-till's got some cover crops added to it.
Okay. Now we've really got two tests here. Eddie, what's the other test? Now we're going to do the slate test, but what's the other test here you're going to do?
The other one we're going to show is the infiltration, water infiltration test. We've taken the same soils from the no-till long-term cover crop and no-till, and then we've taken the exact same soil that we're going to show in the slate test, and pour water into those, and we're going to observe how rapid the water may move through the soil or how it will tend to lay on the surface just due to the different...
Well, let's get it started. Now, what's the difference? Is this no-till soil here?
Yes, it sure is.
And that's just crumbled down and is powdered, from one of the clods or whatever?
That's exactly right.
Right.
Yep.
All right, well, let's get started and see
Sure.
what happens with that. That's very interesting.
We're adding about a cup of water to each one.
Right.
We've put holes in the bottom and so it's kind of simulating rainfall. And then as you can see, there's absorption taking place in the soil particles.
And what do we expect to see here?
What will happen is the water from the no-till, which is a little more aggregate, there's a little higher organic matter. Water will tend to move through that soil quicker and start moving in throughout the soil profile, whereas the conventional tillage, the soil particles are typically smaller and they're somewhat compacted. Although we didn't do any different compaction within the samples, but you can see how the water surface ponds on the surface.
Yeah, it's pooling up here where it's really soaked in here already, and this is the no-till soil.
That is the no-till soil. Your higher organic matter absorbs the moisture, the water itself, and so it'll take longer for the water to infiltrate through the conventional as opposed to the water holding capacity in your no-till, which can help through typically a year like this year. It can help in drought situations, so the water actually the soils hold water longer, but also even in a year like this, it will hold more water as opposed to laying on the surface, which when you have ponded on the surface and as much rain as we get, you get more runoff. And I think a lot of farmers that do no-till do have some less runoff as opposed to the conventional.
Yeah, you're going to be doing soil demonstrations at the fair next week, is that right?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about the demonstration, when and where, and who all's.
Okay. The Farm Bureau is putting on a breakfast at 8 o'clock.
Right.
And then the demonstration will be shortly after at, 9:30? And it's, as far as I know, it's open to the public. They are asking, for a head count ahead of time.
Sure.
Trying to get that done. But as far as the demonstration goes, it's open for anybody to come see, and I'd like to see as many people as possible.
Most of the farmers in the area, it'd be a good idea to come down and take a look at this. You know, if you're not doing anything Monday morning, that's the place to be, that's for sure. Eddie, now you have some special people coming in to help with this presentation, right?
Yes, Purdue University co-sponsors the CCSI, the Conservation Cropping Systems Initiative, and Ashley Hummick, he's the new agronomist with the CCSI. Ashley will be there assisting with our slate presentation and our water infiltration, and I'll have a lot of information there with cover crops and benefits of no-till.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and get this slate test started, and then we'll take a break and come back and see how the slate test actually ends up, okay?
Sounds
all right,
good.
All right. Why don't you guys do what you got to do here to get this slate test going? It'll be interesting. You take the clods, right?
Yes, we'll take the clods. We'll take the clod from the no-till and cover crops, and then that's the conventional till. Drop them in water. There's a screen positioned at the top to hold the clod in place.
And there again, this is the no-till on this side, and that's regular soil over there.
Yes, from the conventional.
From the
That's from the
conventional,
conventional
right.
tilled field. Typically, the no-till will be generally a one-pass operation where the planters, placing the seed
Sure.
in the soil itself, and then the conventional till may have been chisel plowed, possibly last fall, possibly this spring,
Right.
and then disked in preparation for planting corn or beans.
Okay. Interesting. I noticed that this over here is already beginning to break apart.
Yes.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're going to take a break, and we come back. We'll get some results of this slate test. It's kind of interesting to see it all happen. All right, we're back on Valley Ag Weekly now with Eddie Adams of the USDA and Ryan Hendricks of the Vigo County Soil and Water Conservation District. Now, while we were away, the slate test has been going on, gentlemen, and let's kind of show the results here. Ryan, what are we seeing here right now? I mean, the big difference between the two different containers.
Right. The biggest difference you can see right from the beginning between the no-till on the left and the conventional here on the right. The conventional is just deteriorating rapidly, and your water is being completely contaminated with sediment. It's filling up. It's very cloudy. If we actually pull that screen up out of there, and I can if you would like.
Sure.
The clod that we put in there is a lot smaller now. It's just continuously coming apart.
Right.
The roots and organic matter and everything that was in the no-till is helping it keep closer together.
And that clod looks more like a clod of mud, and this one has some texture to it. It's not as
Yes,
muddy looking. Is it?
definitely. One difference you can notice too between them is your no-till will stay darker because it's carrying more nutrients all the time throughout the year compared to what the conventional will be.
Right. And Eddie, we've got a couple of other clods here too that have some wormholes in them, right?
Yes.
Tell us about the wormholes. Why is that important?
Well, the higher organic matter that's in the soil, a lot of times is created by the worm activity. When you have infiltration and your worms are going to feed off of the organic matter and create organic matter itself, as well as in this one here, you can see the channel down through there, and you can typically expect better internal drainage with worm activity, and as far as them helping to decompose the residues that are on the surface.
Very interesting. Right. Now, is there more information on the website that people can find out about the slate test or any of the tests that we've done here?
Yeah, if you just basically Google Indiana NRCS, the website will come up, and you have information on there about soil health, some of our programs. And as far as the Soil and Water District, is the Vigo County SWCD.
Right.
We'll bring up the district website, which they announce activities and events that's going on in the Soil and Water District area.
Well, we need to, again, talk about the event that's coming up Monday at the fair. Vigo County Fair gets underway this weekend, but Monday is really the big kickoff for us because you're going to be there with this presentation. Ryan, again, times and locations.
Breakfast will start at 8, but the demonstration will be about 9:30, and encourage everybody to come out and watch it.
And you've got special people coming down.
Ashley Hammock with CCSI will be here and doing some agronomic, with cover crops and no-till. And it'll be at the West Pavilion of the open pavilion there at the fairgrounds.
Right, so it's easy to find, plenty of parking down there that time of day, and come down for the breakfast early,
Right.
and then hang around for the demonstration.
Absolutely. We'll have some other farmers in the area that are going to be there talking about some of the successes and challenges as well with some of their cropping systems.
Well, and it's a good time to do some networking too. Farmers are kind of competitive guys, but they like to talk about each other and compare notes, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And great demonstration. Of course, you'll go into more detail at the demonstration Monday at the fair,
Certainly
right? I
will.
mean, we didn't have a lot of time here, so we had to kind of accelerate this a little bit. But it'll be interesting to see Monday at the fair.
We appreciate your time here as well, Barry.
That's okay.
It's
Thank you,
awesome.
gentlemen. Appreciate it. And hopefully we'll be talking to you again soon. We'll see you at the fair on Monday.
Looking forward to it.
All
Thank
right.
you.
You've been watching Valley Ag Weekly. I'm Barry Kent.